we do this before the biggest game of the weekend, maybe 4 or 5 times a year. We go and say, here are the top 10 players. Now, I think the Niners should be favored. I think it's going to be 28-24 San Francisco. I would take the points in Baltimore, but they are banged up. They just lost Mitchell, another very, very twitchy athlete on offense. So if we listed the top 10 players, here's how I would list them in this game. Now, it will come off, well, I'll just list the players. So the best player I would say is Christian McCaffrey. Leads the NFL, 6 games, over 100 yards rushing. He's got 20 total touchdowns. I think he's one of the best running backs in league history, up there with Walter Payton, Barry Sanders. He's having a remarkable year. I think McCaffrey would be my MVP, so he is the best player in this game. I would say the second best player is the best left tackle maybe in a decade, Trent Williams, who's not allowed a sack since week 13 of last year. When he's healthy, they win. The great left tackles, Tyron Smith of the Cowboys and Trent Williams, they will make great pass rushers. They'll engulf them. So there are very few people on the planet that have his size and his feet. He's the second best player in this game. Third best player to me is Lamar Jackson, on pace to become the first quarterback with 3,700 passing yards and 900 rushing yards. He's just having a great year. And by the way, when I say he's third, these top 3 players, McCaffrey, Trent Williams, and Lamar Jackson, are top players in the league at their positions, right? So, it's inches, not feet. Then it gets really, really close. Number 4, I think the NFL's best chess piece is Deebo Samuel. He's one of 2 players in the entire league with 5+ receiving touchdowns and 5+ rushing touchdowns. The other is McCaffrey. So I just think he is just too big for corners, too fast for linebackers. I think he's a chess piece, and he has the perfect coach. He starts running and gets steam. None of those DBs want a piece of that. He's like a tight end, but thicker and faster. I think the number 5 player is Nick Bosa, who second most pressures in the NFL behind Micah Parsons. When he's healthy, he's just like T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett. You're not going to block him. You got about a second and a half to have an edge on him, and then it's over. Number 6 is the best linebacker in the game, Fred Warner, who is the highest graded linebacker according to PFF. Insane range. I almost wonder sometimes you could put him on offense and have him do something in Kyle's system. He's just an insane athlete, has 4 interceptions. So there's nobody else on the planet quite like him. Number 7, Roquan Smith, to me, is the second best linebacker in the NFL. He has transformed this defense. 10+ pressures, 5+ pass breakups. Just a great player. Hall of Fame talent. Georgia Bulldog. Great with the Bears, but the Bears had to get offensive help for Justin Fields, so they moved off him. And at the time, I'm like, that's a lot of money to play a linebacker, but he and Fred Warner are the 2 linebackers in the NFL you should just pay. Number 8, George Kittle, who's the highest graded tight end in football this year. Blocks, physical, red zone, after the catch, Hall of Fame talent. And I don't think there's any denying that Kittle's great. Number 9, Brock Purdy. He's having a great year. He is not Lamar as a talent, but he is leads the NFL in passer rating at 119. He is a good player. Some would argue great. I'm not there. This is not a knock. These are the 2 best teams in the league. You got like 12 Hall of Famers in this game. This is not a knock on Brock Purdy. I don't see him as a Hall of Fame talent. Number 10 was tough. I went with Kyle Hamilton or Brandon Ayuk, and I went with Ayuk over Kyle Hamilton because he touches the ball. So people will take a receiver over a safety in a draft. I think Kyle's having a great year, and Kyle's arguably the best safety in football. He's 11, but Ayuk, second straight 1,000-yard season. Not as consistent as Kyle Hamilton. He can disappear a little bit because they have so many weapons. But, to tell you how good these teams are, Kyle Hamilton's my 11, and I think he's probably the best safety in football. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.